there's this sort of breakup of sibling relationship. I think this all began really about the time of Harry's marriage to Meghan.
So, for years, those closest to Princess Diana guarded her deepest secrets, rarely speaking publicly about the people who later entered the royal family. But everything changed when Diana's former bodyguard finally decided to break his silence about Meghan Markle. His unexpected remarks have sparked intense debate, revived old comparisons, and reportedly left Prince Harry completely stunned.
And it's never going to be sorted out publicly. It has to be sorted out privately.
Was this a long overdue dose of truth, or another chapter in the royal controversy that refuses to fade? What he revealed has many questioning the story they thought they knew. But what could have forced Diana's ex-bodyguard to break his silence? Why now, of all times? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. To help us create more videos and uncover the latest royal drama, please subscribe. The conversation that changed everything for years. Ken Worf, the former royal protection officer who worked closely with Princess Diana from 1987 until she died in 1993, stood closer to the princess and her two sons than almost anyone outside the royal family. As Diana's longtime bodyguard, he was not only responsible for keeping them safe, but also had a rare opportunity to witness countless private moments that the public would never see. Among all the memories he has shared over the years, one particular childhood conversation between Prince William and Prince Harry has continued to stand out. To Worf, it was a brief exchange that, although innocent at the time, seemed to reveal something important about the brothers' very different personalities and how they viewed the future awaiting them. According to Worf, the conversation happened when William and Harry were still very young. The brothers were talking casually, without any idea that anyone would later remember their words. During that exchange, Prince William reportedly admitted that he did not want to become king. Even as a child, he appeared to understand that wearing the crown would bring enormous pressure, constant responsibility, and a lifetime of public duty. His words suggested that the role already felt like a heavy burden, rather than an exciting privilege. Harry's response immediately caught Worf's attention. Instead of sharing his brother's concerns or worrying about the challenges of ruling, the younger prince reportedly answered with remarkable confidence. He joked that if William did not want to be king, he would happily take the position himself. To many, it sounded like nothing more than the playful confidence of a carefree younger brother. But to Worf, it also reflected Harry's bold, spontaneous nature and his willingness to embrace opportunities without overthinking the consequences. Looking back now, Worf believes the exchange carries far more meaning than anyone could have imagined at the time. As the years passed, William gradually accepted the destiny that had been set before him, preparing himself for the enormous responsibilities of one day becoming king. Harry, however, took a completely different direction. In 2020, he and Meghan Markle stepped away from royal duties and began building a new life outside the royal family, choosing a path few would have predicted during those childhood years. Even so, Worf is careful not to place too much weight on the conversation. He has repeatedly stressed that both boys were simply children, speaking honestly and innocently, with no real understanding of what their future would hold. He does not believe the exchange foretold their eventual separation, or the challenges that later emerged within the family. Instead, he sees it as a fascinating snapshot of two young brothers whose naturally different personalities would, over time, shape two remarkably different journeys. Coming from someone who watched them grow up from such close range, the story remains one of Worf's most memorable and revealing recollections. Now, what eventually inspired Ken Worf to break his decades-long silence? Could he have seen something compelling, or a pattern repeating itself? Let's find out. Harry's worst fear seemed real. So, just a few hours after Meghan Markle accepted the Women of Vision Award at the Ms. Foundation Gala in New York City, on the evening of May 16, 2023, what was meant to be a celebratory night reportedly turned into a frightening ordeal. Prince Harry, Meghan, and Meghan's mother, Doria Raglan, found themselves at the center of an incident that quickly made headlines around the world. Their spokesperson described the events as a near-catastrophic paparazzi chase that allegedly lasted for more than 2 hours and unfolded across the busy streets of Manhattan. According to the spokesperson, a large group of determined photographers aggressively pursued the family's vehicle from the moment they left the event. The chase was said to be relentless, with the paparazzi refusing to back away despite the potential risks. The statement claimed that the photographers' actions created several dangerous moments, including close calls involving other drivers, pedestrians, and even two New York Police Department officers. The description painted a picture of an increasingly tense and unpredictable situation that left everyone involved deeply concerned. As the pursuit continued, Harry and Meghan's security team reportedly worked closely with police officers to find a safe solution. The couple first traveled in a sport utility vehicle before temporarily stopping at a nearby police precinct in an attempt to escape the photographers. Hoping to throw the pursuers off their trail, they later switched into a yellow New York City taxi. However, according to those close to the couple, even that change failed to end the chase. After roughly 10 minutes in the taxi, they returned to the police precinct before eventually completing their journey in their own security vehicle once conditions were considered safer. Harry and Meghan's head of security, Chris Sanchez, later described the experience as nothing short of chaotic. He claimed the photographers used every means possible to stay close to the couple, including cars, motorcycles, bicycles, and scooters. Some allegedly drove through red lights, mounted sidewalks, blocked traffic, and surrounded the couple's vehicle in ways that placed everyone nearby at risk. Sanchez said the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were left shaken, exhausted, and emotionally drained, though deeply grateful that they reached their destination without physical harm. The New York Police Department confirmed that officers had assisted the couple's security team and acknowledged that the presence of numerous photographers made transportation extremely difficult. At the same time, police emphasized that there were no reported crashes, injuries, arrests, or traffic summonses connected to the incident. Even so, New York City Mayor Eric Adams strongly condemned anyone engaging in high-speed pursuits through crowded city streets, calling such behavior reckless and irresponsible. The incident revived memories of Princess Diana's 1997 fatal paparazzi pursuit, reinforcing Prince Harry's deep fears of media intrusion and strengthening his resolve to protect Meghan and their family. But what was Worf's comment about the scary chase? What did he say about Diana's experience? Stay tuned. Diana's Bodyguard challenges Harry's narrative. The dramatic New York paparazzi incident involving Prince Harry and Meghan Markle sparked worldwide headlines, but one voice stood out above the rest, that of Ken Worf, Princess Diana's former personal protection officer. Having spent 5 years protecting Diana and later working closely with Princes William and Harry, Worf offered a rare insider's perspective that challenged much of the public narrative. Rather than blaming the photographers alone, he argued that the incident exposed serious weaknesses in how the couple's security operation was handled. Speaking after the widely reported near-catastrophic chase in Manhattan in May 2023, Worf suggested that the problems began long before the vehicles pulled away from the event. In his view, the departure from the venue appeared disorganized and poorly controlled from the very beginning. He explained that the moment a high-profile person leaves a public event is often the most delicate stage of any security mission. Every movement should be carefully planned, every route considered, and every possible risk anticipated. When those preparations fall short, even a routine exit can quickly spiral into confusion. Worf believes that this is exactly what happened that evening. He argued that Harry and Meghan's security team failed to manage the situation effectively, allowing photographers to stay close enough to follow them through the busy streets of New York. What followed became a tense game of cat and mouse that attracted global attention. While acknowledging that paparazzi can be persistent and aggressive in their pursuit of exclusive photographs, Worf stressed that their primary goal is usually to capture valuable images, not to physically harm the people they are chasing. In his opinion, a better planned departure could have significantly reduced the pursuit and prevented the situation from escalating. Drawing from his years of experience protecting Princess Diana, Worf revealed how he would have handled such a scenario. If photographers had gained the upper hand, he said his immediate response would have been to return to the safety of the hotel, reassess the security plan, and wait until conditions were safer before attempting another departure. He described what unfolded in New York as a complete breakdown in security management, warning that the greatest danger in these situations is often faced not by the celebrities themselves, but by innocent drivers, pedestrians, and police officers caught in the middle. He also questioned why local law enforcement had not been more actively involved from the outset, suggesting that stronger coordination with New York authorities could have helped prevent the chaos. The report also highlighted that not everyone agreed on what actually happened. One photographer involved in the pursuit claimed that the danger increased because Harry and Meghan's driver drove aggressively, contributing to the tense atmosphere. Meanwhile, New York taxi driver Sukhcharn Singh, who briefly transported the couple during the incident, described the near-catastrophic label as exaggerated. Even so, he admitted that Harry and Meghan appeared genuinely shaken and anxious throughout the ordeal, leaving room for continued debate over what really unfolded that night. So, what did Worf say about Harry's current position in the monarchy? What did he feel Diana would have wanted for her son? Stay with us. What Diana would have wanted. Ken Worf also shared a heartfelt opinion about the ongoing tensions within the royal family. Having spent years by Diana's side and watching Princes William and Harry grow up, Worf believes the late princess would have been deeply troubled by the direction recent events have taken. His comments was directed at Prince Harry's released Netflix documentary series and his best-selling memoir, Spare, both of which revealed private details about life inside the royal family and reignited public debate around the family's divisions. According to Worf, Diana always wanted her sons to value love, loyalty, and the importance of family, even during times of disagreement. While she certainly had her own struggles with the monarchy and often spoke openly about the pressures she faced, he believes she never wanted those conflicts to permanently damage the bond between her children and the rest of the family. In his view, Diana understood that disagreements happen in every family, but she believed healing and forgiveness were far more important than allowing resentment to grow. Reflecting on Harry's recent choices, Worf suggested that Diana would most likely have encouraged him to rebuild bridges with his father, King Charles III, and his brother, Prince William, instead of allowing the distance between them to become even greater. He believes she would have urged private conversations, honest communication, and patience, rather than public interviews, documentaries, and books that expose deeply personal family matters to millions of people around the world. Worf also expressed concern that the continuing public dispute has made any future reconciliation much more difficult. From his perspective, every new interview or public revelation creates fresh wounds, making it harder for trust to return. He believes Diana would have recognized that while speaking out may bring temporary relief, lasting peace within a family usually comes through private understanding rather than public confrontation. Having known Harry since he was a young boy, Worf admitted that it is painful to witness the growing divide between the Duke of Sussex and the rest of his family. He argued that Diana would likely have been saddened to see the once close relationships between Harry, William, and their father become so strained. Although no one can know exactly what Diana would have said if she were alive today, Worf remains convinced that her greatest wish would have been to see her family united once again. In his opinion, she would have placed reconciliation above resentment and encouraged her loved ones to find common ground instead of continuing a conflict that has played out before the eyes of the entire world. Now, did Worf think Diana would have fixed or prevented the fractured brotherhood between her sons if she were alive today? What could she have done? Stay glued. Diana could have saved them for many years. Ken Worf has shared a heartfelt belief that continues to spark discussion among royal watchers. In his opinion, if Diana had lived, the painful rift between Prince William and Prince Harry would probably never have grown into the deep family divide the world sees today. Having worked closely with Diana for years and watched both princes grow from young boys into adults, Worf believes she possessed something truly extraordinary. She combined warmth, wisdom, emotional understanding, and quiet authority in a way that allowed her to connect with each of her sons on a deeply personal level. Few people, he argues, understood William and Harry as completely as their mother did. Worf believes Diana would have immediately recognized the emotional struggles Harry experienced as he tried to protect Meghan Markle from the intense media attention that surrounded her after joining the royal family. Diana herself had endured years of relentless press intrusion, constant public scrutiny, and endless headlines. Because she lived through those painful experiences, Worf believes she would have fully understood why Harry felt such a strong need to shield his wife from similar treatment. In his view, Diana would have shown great compassion for the couple and acknowledged the difficult pressures they faced. Even so, Worf does not believe Diana would have supported Harry and Meghan, creating lasting distance between themselves and the royal family. Instead, he is convinced she would have encouraged calm thinking, patience, and private conversations before allowing disagreements to become public conflicts. Rather than watching family tensions grow through interviews, documentaries, and best-selling books, Worf believes Diana would have worked tirelessly behind the scenes to help everyone listen to one another and find common ground before the situation became impossible to repair. Former royal correspondent Michael Cole has voiced a very similar opinion. He believes Diana would have been heartbroken to witness her two sons becoming so deeply divided after once sharing such a close relationship. According to Cole, she would never have wanted painful family disagreements to be played out before millions of people around the world. Instead, he believes she would have gathered her family together, encouraged honest conversations in private, and used her natural gift for bringing people closer to rebuild trust and understanding. Worf also believes Diana would have welcomed Meghan warmly into the royal family, while encouraging compromise from everyone involved. Although she would have admired Harry's determination to defend his wife, she would also have reminded him that protecting precious family relationships was just as important. In the eyes of both Worf and Cole, Diana always saw William and Harry as an unbreakable team. They remain convinced that, had she been alive, she would have done everything within her power to preserve that lifelong bond and prevent one of the royal family's most painful divisions from becoming so deeply rooted. Did Worf also believe that Harry's most controversial actions were influenced by Meghan? Why did this revelation hit Meghan and Harry the most? Stay glued. How Meghan changed Harry forever. So, the former royal bodyguard did not hold back in sharing his thoughts on the influence Meghan has had on Prince Harry's life, offering an opinion that has sparked fresh discussion among royal watchers. While he made it clear that he did not place the entire blame for the family's ongoing rift on Meghan, he suggested that Harry's life has changed dramatically since meeting her, and especially since the couple decided to leave Britain and settle in California. According to the former protection officer, Harry now seems far removed from the life, traditions, and close relationships that once defined him as a senior member of the royal family. He explained that the prince appeared deeply connected to his royal upbringing for most of his life, despite the challenges he faced growing up in the public eye. However, after stepping away from royal duties and starting a new chapter overseas, Harry seemed to become increasingly detached from the institution, the people, and even some of the values that had shaped him from childhood. Worf was careful not to suggest that Meghan alone was responsible for these developments. Instead, he implied that the decisions the couple made together gradually widened the distance between Harry and his family. In his view, their move to California marked more than a simple change of address. It represented a major turning point that reshaped Harry's relationship with the monarchy and with those closest to him. He also expressed the belief that there were several moments when reconciliation might have been possible. In his opinion, both Harry and Meghan had opportunities to lower the tension, rebuild trust, and begin repairing damaged relationships with King Charles, Prince William, and other senior royals. Yet those opportunities, he argued, were never fully embraced. Rather than taking quieter steps toward healing, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex repeatedly chose to speak publicly about their experiences through high-profile television interviews, documentaries, podcasts, and Prince Harry's memoir. While the couple has maintained that sharing their story was necessary to explain their decisions and defend themselves against what they believed were unfair claims, critics have argued that each new revelation only deepened existing divisions within the family. Worf suggested that these repeated public disclosures made genuine reconciliation increasingly difficult. Every new interview or personal account, he believed, reopened old wounds, encouraged fresh media speculation, and kept the family disagreement firmly in the public spotlight. Instead of allowing emotions to settle, each revelation appeared to create another obstacle to rebuilding trust. Although he acknowledged that only those directly involved truly know everything that happened behind palace walls, he concluded that restoring family relationships requires patience, private conversations, and a willingness from all sides to move beyond past grievances. Without those ingredients, he implied, the hope of healing the royal divide becomes far more difficult to achieve. What explanation did Worf give in defense of Harry's protection of Meghan? Does it really hold water? Let's find out. Harry's protection rooted in trauma. Worf did not stop with his earlier observations. He went on to speak about what he believes is one of the strongest forces driving Prince Harry's actions today: his deep and unwavering desire to protect Meghan from the kind of media attention that has followed her since joining the royal family. According to Worf, this determination is not simply about being a devoted husband. He believes it is rooted in a painful chapter of Harry's life that has never truly healed: the tragic loss of Princess Diana. In Worf's view, Harry has carried the emotional weight of his mother's death for decades. Watching Diana struggle under constant public attention left a lasting mark on him, shaping how he sees both the press and the world around him. Because of those experiences, Harry has repeatedly drawn comparisons between the intense media spotlight surrounding Meghan and the relentless pursuit that Diana faced during her lifetime. To Harry, the similarities are impossible to ignore, and they have strengthened his determination to ensure that history does not repeat itself. Worf acknowledged that many people can understand Harry's protective instincts. Any son who witnessed what happened to his mother might naturally become determined to shield the people he loves from similar experiences. However, Worf also suggested that those painful memories may have had another lasting effect. In his opinion, Harry's past has contributed to a deep sense of mistrust, not only toward sections of the media, but also toward certain parts of the royal institution itself. That lingering distrust, he implied, has influenced many of Harry's decisions in recent years and has played a significant role in the growing distance between the Duke of Sussex and the rest of the royal family. Yet Worf believes there is another side to the story that should not be overlooked. While Harry often looks to his mother's memory as a source of strength and inspiration, Worf questioned whether Diana herself would have wanted the ongoing family conflict to continue. Based on his years of knowing and working closely with the late princess, he suggested that Diana would likely have encouraged a very different approach. Rather than allowing anger, disappointment, and misunderstandings to widen the gap between family members, Worf believes Diana would have urged Harry to embrace forgiveness, exercise patience, and seek reconciliation wherever possible. In his view, she would have wanted her sons to remain united despite their differences and to work toward restoring trust instead of allowing old wounds to deepen. Taken together, Worf's remarks paint a picture of Prince Harry as a man motivated by profound love for his wife and an enduring devotion to his mother's memory. So, what do you think about Ken Worf's revelations? Why did his revelations about Meghan leave Harry speechless? We'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe,